Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing pretty good myself. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing really good. Honestly, I feel like today I felt better than I felt in months, maybe. But you know, it's a good day if that's a possibility, right? Um, I guess. Let's start from the top. How did I work my way towards having such a good day? Well, okay. First, I'll give you this piece of information that I know from Andrew Huberman, the He's a neuroscientist. I forget what classes or courses that he teaches at Stanford. I know it's not neuroscience, but um, it's brain related, psychology related. But what he says is that you feel or how good you feel today is based off of how well you treated yourself the past 3 days. So that means doing things like going to the gym, meditating, going to sauna, journaling, eating right, getting good sleep. Um, I guess not procrastinating. So the buildup of work starts to stress you out. All those things, right? So, like I said, treating or how well you treated yourself the past 3 days is going to essentially determine how good you feel today. And I mean, I feel like how good I feel today is more of a process that started. I mean, let's say it started a while ago. I quit wrestling um, for my college about a week ago. I'd say Monday, right? So 5, 6 days ago. And that was the first big piece of, well, relieving or getting some stress off my plate. I realized it wasn't meaningful for me. It was essentially a waste of time. It didn't align with my purpose. My purpose in life is to help as many other people find meaning and peace in their lives. And wrestling does not help me do that at all. It takes up a ton of my time, a ton of my energy that could be going to more meaningful things, like recording videos, and passing good information on to you guys, journaling more to develop my understanding of the world and develop my understanding of the concepts and ideas that I explain to you guys, and of course, well, people in my life, my girlfriend, my mom, my dad, all those people that I want to see succeed and as healthy and happy as possible. And then, of course, what else? What else did I need to make time for? Reading. I needed to learn. I needed to put more time into my learning. And, well, not only that, not only just like reading in my own free time, but I wanted to not feel rushed while doing my schoolwork, so I can go in as much depth as possible while writing, like answers to questions, um, essays, whatever. It's mostly about writing in depth, well, also reading in depth, and not feeling like, oh, I don't have time to take notes, I don't have time to take in-depth notes. I want to take in-depth notes. I want to learn these things as best I possibly can. It's not about, oh, I'll just stop when I feel like I'll get an A, right? Uh, like I'm writing an essay, I'm like, that'll probably get me an A, I'll just stop here. No, that's not the point. It's not the goal. The goal isn't an A. The goal is to get as much out of it as I possibly can, right? And I feel like that's the best goal you should have, to get as much out of what you're doing as possible. That and don't take that in a selfish way, like, oh, I want to get as much out of it as I can. Like if you're thinking like, maybe not school related, but like, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't sound selfish. Maybe anxiety was telling me that sounds selfish, when it's not a selfish thing to want to benefit yourself and grow as much as you can. So, freeing my time up to be able to do the things that are meaningful to me and to optimize my cognitive function, how well my brain works, lower my stress levels as much as possible, again, which improves your cognitive function. If your stress levels are low, your brain works at a much faster pace, much more effective and efficient. So not only do I feel better, but I function better. I get more done, uh, and I understand what I'm reading better. I understand what I'm saying better. I understand, I just understand better. And it feels really good. I feel like it's incredibly important to, um, well, do a little bit less of the things that you like to make time to do more of the things that you love. Um, and maybe that's not always good advice, depending on who you are and what types of things you love and like. If you love cocaine, I don't mean stop doing the things that you like in order to do more cocaine, but if you know that the things you love are productive, are meaningful, like for me, what I love to do is help other people. I know that's a good goal. I like wrestling. Wrestling's cool, right? I don't love it, so stop doing that so I can do more of what I love and be as good as good at what I love as possible. And I just find that that's been a big part of why I'm able to be the happiest I've been in maybe months today. But even further than that, after getting that off my plate, I had more time. Well, okay, so freeing up my time and my energy from quitting wrestling made it so I could put more time and energy into things like planning my day out, setting like a really not super strict routine, but a solid routine. Like I know what I'm doing most every minute of the day. Not every minute of the day, but close to every minute of the day I know what I'm doing. And it seems like each day I have a little bit more and more time to plan even more thoroughly. And because I plan more thoroughly, the next day I have more time. And it makes it so you have, again, time to do more of the things you love. And you're less stressed when you know what you're gonna do. You're not having to worry about, am I gonna do, is it best for me to spend my time lifting, or is it best for me to spend my time reading? Which one should I do? But if you just worked it out in your head already, or on paper for me is best. I like to journal, and that's how I do my planning. But if you really can like set a solid plan, a plan that you are like pretty damn confident that excuse me, there isn't much improving that you can do on. Certainly, I don't have a perfect routine, but I am confident that it is pretty close to as good as it can get for my my school schedule. That's what I have to work around. And now actually I work too. I just got hired at Subway. So I'm a sandwich slinger and I have to work around that too. But for my schedule, I'm confident. I'm pretty confident that I can't improve much on my routine. So instead of spending all that time and energy and being worried about what I'm gonna do, I can just do what I'm gonna do and do it as well as possible. Because if you're not thinking about what you're gonna do while you're doing it, of course you're gonna be able to perform better. You're gonna be able to learn better because you're not thinking about something else. You're more present. And I lost my train of thought, but where were we? So essentially what I'm talking about is how I am as happy as I can be today. Oh, planning, yes. Something I did today to plan like far into the future is I actually took the time. So my goals, sorry, let's start here. My goals are to get through 8 years of college to become a psychiatrist. And from there, I want to, it's a lofty goal, but I want to become a professor someday. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to be able to, teach other people how to become a psychiatrist. I feel like that's how I'm going to be able to put the most good into the world, rather than just stopping at being a psychiatrist and putting good through the world by well, of course, helping people with their mental health problems. I'm helping other people help people with mental health problems. I feel like that's why I want to do that, right? But again, like I said, that's a lofty goal. It's a maybe, but that's what I'm shooting for. And so I'm thinking, uh, I've been thinking about doing that. I've been wanting to do that, but I realized I never took the time to, I guess, do my budgeting and think about how much all of this college is going to cost me and what I'm going to do to pay for it. Well, I know I'm just going to work to pay for it, but like, am I going to have to get student loans at some point? Which clearly I am, because I'm going to medical school and that's very expensive. But before today, I had no clue how expensive medical school was. I hadn't looked that up at all. I just was like, oh, I'm doing this because this is the path I need to take for my goals. I didn't look into it though, because I in my head I knew I was doing it. So why does it matter how much it costs? But it matters how much it costs, because if I know it costs a shit ton of money, like all the way up here, way above my head, I can be strict on, or have more reasoning to be able to stay disciplined and strict with my spending. And well, it helps me, I guess, yeah, exactly what I just said. It helps me stay disciplined and not spend money on unnecessary things. Now I know, like okay, this is going to be expensive as hell. I am going to have to get student loans at some point. And in order to make sure that the interest rate, or not the interest rate, the interest doesn't build up and build up and build up more than it needs to, then I need to start saving as much as I can right now. I can't have a full-time job because I'm in college and I want to make sure I have enough time to do my homework and assignments in depth, like I said. But I'm gonna have to get squeeze as much hours of work in per week as I can. And now I know that. Now I know exactly what I can get away with, essentially, which is not much. I can't get away with much. I really have to stay disciplined. And essentially, I guess budgeting is just a way to give yourself more reasoning. You know more in depth why the hard work is worth it, right? You know, okay, if I continue to work this hard, if I continue to do all these things, if I continue to save money by not buying unnecessary things, if I continue to all these other different things, right? If I continue to stay disciplined, then I know exactly what I'm getting out of it. And I know exactly, I guess, well, I'll know how much money I'll have a few years in advance. Like I did, the budgeting I did was just adding up how much, or figuring out how much I'll have a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. And then even all the way up till 5 years after graduating medical school, which is what I figured, or when I did the math, I figured out that it would be about 5 years after I graduate medical school would be the point when I'd be able to pay off my debt from student loans. So I did that far in advance. So 5 years after I graduate medical school, let me think, 8 years from now is when I graduate medical school. So 13 years from now, that's how far I budgeted out. But I don't know, but did my finances. I don't even know if these are the right terms. I still feel like a little kid. I don't know if I'm using these adult terms the right way, but but it helps. It certainly helps. I feel much more confident, and I have a way more clear idea of what my life is going to look like. I know that these lofty goals of mine are manageable, and there's no reason to be scared by some, like everyone says, don't do student loans. No, you're not going to be able to pay for it. The interest is going to go up so much. But if you just do the math and you know you can pay for it, you now have the confidence to do it and not like listen to other people telling you to not go chase your goals, right? You don't have to have their stress put stress on you. Just because they're stressed and they think that they can't do it doesn't mean that you can't do it. Well, dude, it doesn't even mean that they can't do it. They just haven't figured that out because they haven't like done the math and realized like it's not that big of a deal. 5 years after medical school, I'll be able to pay that all off. I said 13 years from now, I'll be 33. I have like maybe 50 to 60 years left to live after that, and I won't have debt, and I'll have my dream job. I'll have everything I want. I'll be able to help put as much good into the world as possible, like through the knowledge that I gained and the position that I gained, to be able to be a psychiatrist and to like, that's such a good position to be able to like help people and put good in the world. That's exactly what I want. Why would I not get student loans to be able to do that for the rest of my life? I don't get how people think that like going through college and paying for college and student loans and all of that, all the negative parts that come with chasing your dream career, how they think that that's not worth it. I mean, maybe they just don't. I mean, I guess they just don't enjoy the same things I do. So it makes sense that they don't get as much pleasure out of helping people. They don't get as much pleasure from their job. Maybe they get more pleasure from the things outside of their job than their job. So in their eyes, it doesn't matter really what the job is. It matters what they're doing outside of their job, right? So maybe that's how it is. Maybe that's how it is. But I feel like, for me at least, it's all worth it. And I know how worth it is. I know how manageable it is because I took this time today and this week to do more in-depth planning, and I really feel like there's incredible value in that. Incredible value. Go ahead, do it. I know it sounds like, oh god damn, I don't want to do my finances. It's not that big of a deal. And you don't have to do it like 13 years in advance, like I'm saying. I didn't start with 13 years in advance. Like a few weeks ago, I don't know when, but like I started small, like just figuring out how much my food cost per week, or I did the math and figured out how much money I make per month minus my rent, and all these small things, right? You could start there, and that helps. That certainly helps. So don't feel like, oh, I have to do as much as he's saying. You could do that eventually. Maybe set that a goal for a month from now. Start like working your way up to it, doing a little bit more budgeting as it feels sort of natural, right? It's not like I felt like I needed all this information before today. So again, it felt natural for me to do this. I didn't force myself. So again, for you guys, do the budgeting as it feels natural. I feel like it's really hard. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to do it if I had to force myself to do it, you know. It just kind of happened. I just kind of wanted to do it. So that's my advice for today. Go do some budgeting, go do some planning. And the first thing, what was it? It had to do with me quitting wrestling. It was a good piece of advice. Let me give me 1 second. Do a little bit less of what you like so you can do a little bit more of what you love. I think that is bars. All right. Have a good day, you guys.